Can you introduce yourself and where we are?
Yeah, my name's Jason Souter. I'm a stone layer and a licensed plumber, and I'm in Westbury in Ritchie Street.
What do you love about your work?
I think what I really enjoy about it is being creative, going into somebody's property and coming up with a few good ideas, and then from one to the other you get the job done.
Are there any particular types of stonework that you enjoy, like walls or buildings or anything
I
like
think
that?
I probably prefer a nice retainer wall. Stone houses, there's a lot of up and down work, and that can get a little bit stressful on the old body. But yeah.
What type of stone do you use?
This is called dolerite. Most of the stone around this way is dolerite, and there is basalt on different properties. Basalt's a heavier material, and they both lay up the same. They both look pretty presentable when they're complete.
How far do you cover?
I go back to town. I do a lot of work for a construction company in town called Maintain, and I do all the council repair work.
This is in Launceston?
In Launceston, yes, and do a lot of restoration on the old restoration work, yeah, like on old convict dwellings and what have you, or old houses from the early centuries, and just come in and basically do what's got to be done.
Have you come across any particularly interesting properties, things that you've seen? I know convict bricks, things that they've done.
I've got a few. I've got a heap of convict bricks over there with the thumbprints in them, but I sometimes use those in a bit of a feature inside a house if I'm doing say an internal fireplace or something like that. And there's all different styles. There's this mud course wall, there's dry stone work, and there's another one called V-pointing, where the mud joints are pulled to a point.
Okay.
All the way around the stone. Just highlights it a bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it?
Since I was 26, 40 years.
And you work in teams in Launceston, or do you work with other people out here?
I used to have a gang of blokes working for me. I did some big major stone jobs in town, but I've been working on my own, and sometimes I just get a labourer in if I need one, depending on how big the job is.
Do you find, it's obviously quite heavy work sometimes heights. Is it dangerous?
No, not if you've got the right scaffolding and all the OH&S in place.
Yeah. It's
pretty good. It's just a bit hard on the old back at times, and yeah.
Why do you think people come and use you?
I suppose because I advertise. I get a lot of follow-on work from people that say get me to do the stone jobs. I was in Western Australia for 5 years, and the day I got back, I got, "Oh, you're back, got a stone job for you." And it just went from there. And they've gone from substantial jobs to working on the farms down through the Midlands, and some of the retainer walls I've built down there are like about 100 metres, some of them 200 metres, so I'm there for a while.
How do you source the stone? Where does the stone come from?
I've got properties in this area, and I've just got access to the property, and the farmers say to me, take a lot of stone. So most of it comes out of the paddock, so where I pick the stone up, every stone I pick up is grass next season for the cattle or the sheep, whatever's in there. So they like that.
Do you choose particular stones, or do you cut and mould?
I do use stone chisels on bluestone work, which is quarry stone, and sometimes you've got to shape it into random rectangular squares or small rectangular squares, sometimes squares, and you use your pitching tool to shape the cornerstones up into square.
What's your favourite part of the Meander Valley?
Look, I'd have to say I like all of it. Everywhere I go, I just like it more and more. I love going down the road that takes you off to, instead of going into Deloraine, you go, what's that called? Anyway, there's a lot of farms down that way, and good rivers, and yeah.
There you go. Last question, what were you doing in WA?
I worked on Rottnest Island,
Oh yeah.
and I was a plumber over there. And then when they found out I was a stone layer, because the place was all getting landscaped, I did a stone feature walls and a lot of stone pitching on the sandbanks to keep all the gardens in area in Oldham back.
Yeah, for 5 years on Rottnest?
No, probably about 12 months.
Oh yeah.
But I travelled every day on the ferry from where I lived.
Yeah.
And then of course I did work down, and I can't even think of the places' names now, but I could take you there, but down heading towards, I don't know, out of Perth and going...
Further south is this?
Yeah.
Is that Margaret River territory?
Not that far down, back up, but along the coastlines and on farms. A couple of farms I did some stonework on those. And, yeah.